What's up everybody, welcome to the Gamer Village. I'm Atcha, and today I'm going to be looking over the release notes for the balance update for today, which is January 12th. There are some huge updates for 5 brawlers here. Many of these updates are nerfs, so be sure to stay tuned and check these out. Let's look these over together. Alright, so let's jump right into the release notes. These release notes came out today on the 12th, January 12th of course. And let's take a look at Chester first. So first bullet point, Chester has significantly reduced damage for his stun. So those of you that have been using his stun, you can see the damage has been decreased from 1400 to 200 at base. This is a huge nerf. So those of you looking to stun with Chester, you gotta look there. Let's take a look at the next item for Chester. Chester was also nerfed with projectile speed for his stun. So those of you shooting the stun and relying on the stun is 25% slower. That's right, it's going to be slower as a projectile. So keep that in mind as you're picking Chester. Let's see what else he's got in store. Another related to his stun. I guess a lot of people were using that stun and just stacking trophies. His next is his stun has been reduced from 2 seconds down to 1 second, so about half the time. So you can see why this is such a huge nerf for Chester, because you could previously stun him and basically take out any opponent if you're bush camping or just kind of hanging out. So big nerfs for Chester. Let's see what else Chester's got. Speaking of nerfs, Chester's main attack was reduced from 720 to 640 at base, so another big nerf for him. Yeah, Chester mains, you're gonna see big nerfs here in this with this update. Can't sugarcoat that. All right, let's take a look at the next brawler, who is Mandy. Mandy's Mandy's focused attack has been reduced by 40%. So this is the standing focused attack where you stand still, it charges up, and you can shoot that extra distance. That has been reduced by 40%. So this is definitely a buff for Mandy. I think it's definitely going to make Mandy more playable, but we'll see how it plays out for the rest of the season. So let's stay tuned and see what happens. Next, let's talk about Buster. Buster's first item, reduced super duration by half. Yikes, this is a huge nerf. So those of you that were selecting Buster in Hot Zone or Gem Grab or anywhere you were being that support person, that super duration is in half. You're not going to be able to deflect quite as long. Still useful though, in my opinion. Let's take a look at the next. Reduced basic damage for Buster. So another nerf. It goes from 1480 at base to 1320. Still a powerful attack in my opinion, but a nerf's a nerf. So those of you that were using Buster to the extreme here, you guys are definitely going to see a difference, as less people are probably going to be picking Buster because of a couple of these nerfs, but we'll see. One more update, the Kevlar vest damage was reduced from 20% to 10%. That's right, you're going to be taking more damage if you were using that Kevlar vest. So more bad news for Buster mains. All right, let's take a look at the next brawler, who is Grom. Grom's main attack had a projectile speed of 880 milliseconds, is now 840 milliseconds, so he's getting a buff. It isn't that big of a buff, but it's probably going to be noticeable enough that you will see some of those that were previously maining Grom are probably going to start picking Grom again, just to see if there's any hype behind it. You can see that even in the notes, they note that in December it used to be 800 milliseconds, so if it was December and they were implementing this 840 millisecond speed time, it would still be a nerf when you think about it that way, but they're actually giving back an additional 40 milliseconds, so we're counting this as a buff here for Grom. Last update is Gray's piano gadget. This is a huge nerf for those Gray mains. In my opinion, Gray is already one of those underutilized, difficult brawlers to get acquainted with. There's a high level of skill to get skilled with Gray, so the skill cap is pretty high, and just nerfing his piano gadget really takes it to the extreme by 50%. Wow, that is that is huge. A couple of other bug fixes, nothing too drastic, just loading screen and some wonky stuff going on with Mandy. But outside of that, those are the big changes. So big changes, we're seeing a nerf on Chester. We're seeing Buster also is nerfed, a buff for Mandy. We got Grom, who also got a buff, and Gray with a huge nerf as well. Hopefully this helps. Be sure to like and subscribe. Leave some comments below. Let me know what you think of this update. We'll catch you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to like to continue to support our channel, and subscribe and turn on notifications so you can stay up to date with the most recent videos. All right, see you next time.